Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to learn about ad hoc TCP. So let's get started. Ad hoc TCP. Similar to TCP-F and TCP-ELFN, ad hoc TCP, that is ATCP, also uses a network layer feedback mechanism. It uses network layer feedback mechanism which is used in TCP-F and TCP-ELFN also. Here, to make the TCP sender aware of the status of the network path, to make the TCP sender aware of the path breaks, new nodes added, to make that available to make those information available for the TCP sender, this network layer feedback mechanism is used, over which the TCP packets are propagated. TCP packets are propagated in the network, right? So we are using this network layer feedback mechanism in order to make the TCP sender aware of the status of the network path over which the TCP packets are propagated. Based on the feedback mechanism information received from the intermediate nodes will receive the information regarding the path breaks and new links added by intermediate nodes, right? So the TCP sender changes its state changes its state to the persistent state, persist state, congestion control state, or the retransmit state. These are the different states. I'll tell you in the further session. When an intermediate node finds that the network is partitioned, means the network has broken, means it has divided into two parts, then the TCP sender state changes to the persist state. Then the TCP sender state changes to the persist state, where it avoids unnecessary retransmissions. Here in this state, when the network is partitioned, if the TCP sender tries to send some data packets to the destination, then it is unnecessary, right? They will not reach the destination itself. Then those are unnecessary retransmissions. So the TCP sender will be in this persist state to avoid those unnecessary retransmissions. When ATCP puts TCP in the persist state, here when ATCP puts TCP in the persist state, it sets TCP congestion window size to 1 in order to ensure that the TCP does not continue using the old congestion window size. Why we need to set this congestion window size? In order to alter the rate at which the data packets are sent by the TCP sender to the destination. Here the ATCP will put the TCP in the persist state. It sets the TCP congestion window size to 1 in order to ensure that the TCP does not continue using the old congestion window value. This forces TCP to probe the correct value of the congestion window to be used for the new route. This forces the TCP naturally to use the correct, genuine value of the congestion window to be used for the new route. After a link break occurs, a new route will be established, right? If an intermediate node loses a packet, if at all an intermediate node loses a packet due to some error, not due to congestion, then the ATCP at the TCP sender immediately retransmits it without invoking the congestion control algorithm. This is the most important point in this ATCP, because congestion control algorithm will be invoked for each and every small mistake in the packet transmission, which is a major drawback in TCP in ad hoc wireless networks. So this is an advantage here in this case. And in order to be compatible with widely deployed TCP based networks, ATCP provides this feature without modifying the traditional TCP. It is not modifying the traditional TCP by just not including the congestion control algorithm. It has included it, but it is not invoking that algorithm unnecessarily. which is the most important point here. And ATCP is implemented as a thin layer. ATCP is implemented as a thin layer residing between the IP and TCP protocols. ATCP, it is just a thin layer implementation between the IP, and IP means network layer protocol, and TCP, transport layer protocol. Between them this is implemented. The ATCP layer essentially makes use of the explicit congestion notification ECN for maintenance of the states of the TCP sender. For maintaining the states of the TCP sender, ATCP layer uses the explicit congestion notification. Thin layer implementation of ATCP between the traditional TCP layer and the IP layer, network layer, does not require changes in the existing TCP protocol. Here, as we are implementing this ATCP thin layer between the IP and the TCP layers, it does not require any changes in the existing layer protocol. This layer is active only at the TCP sender. This layer will not be there at the TCP destination. Make sure you note that point. This is the ATCP thin layer implementation. I hope you can see it now. This is the ATCP thin layer implementation. Here, this is TCP layer, transport layer. This is network layer, that is IP layer, ATCP. ATCP exists between these two layers. The major function of the ATCP layer is to monitor the packets that are sent and received by the TCP sender. You see, here the diagram also tells that. Here, it will receive data, right? So, data, IP input, that is the input to the ATCP input means it will monitor the input data, and see here, it will monitor the received data also. Data, TCP output, ATCP output, IP output. See, this is the sent one, this is the received one. It is monitoring both the data. What is monitoring? ATCP is monitoring. This is the thin layer implementation. Anyone can draw this diagram. You must draw this diagram in your examination if you want good marks. And this is such an easy diagram. Don't forget it. The major function of the ATCP is to monitor the packets sent and received by the TCP sender. The state of the TCP sender and the state of the network. The state of the TCP sender and the state of the network. These are the things that are monitored by the ATCP layer. This is the state diagram of the ATCP sender. There are 4 states in the ATCP. They are normal state, congested state, lost state, disconnected state. I'll tell you briefly. When a TCP connection is established, the ATCP sender state, the ATCP's sender state is in normal. Means ATCP is in normal when a TCP connection is established. In this state, the ATCP does not interfere with the operation of TCP and it remains invisible. Then ATCP will not monitor the functions of like checking the state of the TCP sender, monitoring the data that is sent and received by the TCP. It will not do anything in this case. This is the state diagram of ATCP sender. See, here if at all ATCP is in normal state, here the ATCP is in normal state. Here, this is the state diagram. In this state diagram, we are going to represent all the states. This is the normal state, lost state, disconnected state, congested state. These arrows represent the state transitions, and here we wrote the conditions why they have the state transition took place. This is a must diagram. You must draw it in your exam. if you want to score good marks. Please be with me. When packets are lost, if at all packets are lost or arrive out of order at the destination, it generates, what generates? Destination generates duplicate acknowledgements. If the packet lost or arrive out of order occurs at the destination, it generates duplicate acknowledgements. In traditional TCP, in basic elementary level TCP, upon reception of the duplicate acknowledgements, the TCP sender retransmits the segment under consideration. See, in traditional TCP, upon reception of these duplicate acknowledgements, the TCP sender will retransmit all the segments under consideration. It will simply increase the bandwidth consumption and power consumption. It will create control overhead and shrinks the contention window. This is in traditional TCP. But the ATCP sender counts the number of duplicate acknowledgements that has been received. It will count the number of duplicate acknowledgements that has been received, and if it reaches 3, if the duplicate acknowledgements count reaches 3, instead of forwarding the duplicate acknowledgements to TCP, it puts TCP in the persist state. It puts TCP in the persist state and ATCP in the lost state. Hence, the TCP sender avoids invoking the congestion control algorithm. See here in the state diagram. Here, first ATCP is in normal state. If at all it receives duplicate acknowledgement packets which are greater than, whose count is equal to 3, then this normal state changes to lost state. In this lost state, here lost state, it changes to normal state to lost state. It comes. Why? If its duplicate acknowledgements count reaches 3. And see here, see the count, but the ATCP sender counts the number of duplicate acknowledgements received, and if it reaches 3, instead of forwarding the duplicate acknowledgements to TCP, it puts TCP in the persist state and ATCP in the lost state. See, ATCP has gone to lost state. Hence, the TCP sender avoids invoking congestion control algorithm, which is very, very important, because congestion control algorithm creates another problems. In the lost state, within the lost state, ATCP retransmits the unacknowledged segments, means those packets which are lost, because if they are lost, they will not be acknowledged by the receiver, right? So it will retransmit the unacknowledged segments from the TCP buffer. TCP buffer is the place where these packets are stored. See here in this state diagram, in the lost state, this retransmission ATCP retransmits segments in TCP buffer, that are in TCP buffer. This is how you represent, by drawing an arrow like this. ATCP retransmits segments in TCP buffer. When a new acknowledgement comes from the TCP receiver, it is forwarded to the TCP, and the TCP sender is removed from the persist state, and then the ATCP sender changes to the normal state. How? We'll see here. See, the ATCP retransmits segments in the TCP buffer, right? In this lost state, it will retransmit again and again and again all those packets till it receives a acknowledgement packet from the sender, from the receiver. If that acknowledgement packet has been received, then TCP sender will change its state to persist state, and this ATCP sender will change from lost state to normal state again. I hope you understand it. When the ATCP sender is in lost state, the receipt of the ECN message, see, we all know this ECN message, explicit congestion notification message. This is explicit congestion notification message, which is used for the maintenance of the states. These are the states which we are talking about. When the network gets congested, sorry, this is not the point. When the ATCP sender is in the lost state, the receipt of an ECN message or an ICMP source quench message changes it to the congested state. Along with the state transition, the ATCP sender removes the TCP sender from the persist state. See here, if at all this ECN message is received when the ATCP sender is in lost state, then lost state is changed to congested state. When an explicit congested notification is received. When the network gets congested, the ECN flag is set in the data and the acknowledgement packets. When there is a congestion in the network, that is represented by this ECN flag and it is set in the data and the acknowledgement packets. When the ATCP sender receives this ECN message in the normal state, it changes to the congested state and just remains invisible, permitting TCP to invoke the normal congestion control mechanism. This is the time when TCP invokes its normal congestion control algorithm. See here in the state diagram. See, in this normal state, if at all ECN notification has arrived, then normal state of ATCP sender is changed to congested state. Then it will make the TCP to initiate the congestion control algorithm. I hope you understand it. When a root failure or a transient network partition, when a network parted or a root failure occurs in the network, ATCP expects the network layer to detect these. It is the responsibility of the routing protocols to detect the root failure and the network partition, right? So ATCP expects the network layer to detect these and inform the ATCP sender through an ICMP destination unreachable message. It is very, very important for the routing protocol to inform about the network failure and the root failure and the partition to the sender by using this destination unreachable message. You see, upon reception of the destination unreachable message, ATCP puts the TCP sender into the persist state and enters into the disconnected state. See here. And enters into the disconnected state. See in the state diagram also. See, if the ATCP is in this normal state, if at all it receives this DUR means destination unreachable message, then it goes into disconnected state. As the network has parted or some root error or root is broken, then it will go into this disconnected state. It remains in the disconnected state until it is connected. It remains in the disconnected state until it is connected and receives any data or duplicate acknowledgements. On the occurrence of any of these events, ATCP changes to the normal state. If at all any acknowledgement or data has received, then ATCP will changes its state from disconnected state to the normal state. The connected status of the path can be detected by the acknowledgements for the periodic probe packets generated by the TCP sender. The TCP sender will periodically send the probe packets, right? If at all they are not acknowledged, then there is a path break, right? If they are acknowledged, then the path status will be indicated by them, right? The receipt of an ICMP DUR message in the lost state or in the congested state causes a transition to the disconnected state. See how it is represented. If in the if ATCP sender is in the lost state, if DUR message occurs, then it goes to disconnected state. If it is in the congested state, if DUR message occurs, then it goes to disconnected state, right? This is how it happens. When ATCP puts TCP into the persist state, it sets the congestion window to one segment in order to make TCP probe for the new congestion window when the new route is available. In summary, ATCP tries to perform the activities that are listed in the table. This is also the most important table. See, this is the table. This is the event and this is the action, what occurs. Packet loss due to high BER. BER means bit error rate, which is the ratio of number of error bits to the number of bits transmitted. Retransmits the lost packets without reducing congestion, without invoking congestion control algorithm, without reducing the congestion window. If a packet loss occurs due to high bit error rate, this is the event and this is the action. Retransmission of the lost packet will occur without reducing the congestion window. Next one, route recomputation delay. Route recomputation delay makes the TCP sender go to the persist state. If at all route recomputation delay event occurs, then it makes the TCP sender go to the persist state and stops the transmission until new route has been found. This is another event. Transient partitions makes the TCP sender go to the persist state and stop the transmission until the new route has been found. If the transient partition or the route recomputation delay occurs, same action will be taken place. Out of order packet delivery due to the multipath routing, then maintains the TCP sender unaware of this and retransmits the packet from the TCP buffer. Change in route recomputes the congestion window. These are the events and actions that an ATCP sender follows. This is the most important table. You have to draw this table also. Basically, there are 3 diagrams in this question. In this protocol, you must calculate everything. You must write everything in order to get good marks. These are the advantages of this ATCP. It maintains the end-to-end semantics of TCP. It is compatible with traditional TCP. These advantages permit ATCP to work seamlessly with the network, with the internet. In addition, ATCP provides a feasible and efficient solution to improve throughput of the TCP in ad hoc wireless networks. And the disadvantages are the dependency on the network layer protocol to detect the route changes and partitions, which not all routing protocols may implement. The dependency of routing protocol, this is one disadvantage. The addition of a thin ATCP layer to the TCP IP protocol stack that requires changes in the interface functions currently being used. It will change the whole stack, right? So this is ATCP. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find my video worth watching, please do subscribe to my channel.